The Pentagon has released a new batch of documents and images related to unidentified flying objects. This is now the fifth release under an executive order President Trump signed back in January. It directed the military and other agencies to release more UFO files. So let's bring in Avi Loeb, chair of the UAP Science Council to the U.S. government. So, Avi, let's talk about this. What stands out to you in this new batch of UFO files? I see you smiling.
This fifth tranche of UAP data that was released today is different from past releases because there are three remarkable anomalies that are delivered in verbal testimonies rather than digital data in the form of imagery or video, as we have seen before. In fact, I first tried to look for those images or videos, but they were quite disappointing. Instead, the three remarkable testimonies are as follows. One of them is talking about a gunship that on September 2021 was conducting a live fire exercise in the Gulf of Oman and noticed 25 instances of unidentified objects that looked like cold orbs, and they appeared to react to the aircraft firing and were moving together just like dolphins at a speed of up to 1.7 times the speed of sound. So it could be a very unusual swarm of drones, but at that speed, it's really difficult to understand them in terms of known technologies. Then there is a second report which talks about an analog clock that went faster by 20 minutes relative to two digital clocks after an encounter with an unidentified anomalous phenomena. And that's very strange. It only happened during that time, and 20 minutes, a significant time difference. Then a third testimony by the FBI it deals with two American pilots that were flying over Afghanistan, and they witnessed a craft that measured 500 feet and moving at a speed of 150 knots, which is 77 meters per second. The problem is that there is no existing operational aircraft that matches this size and speed. The largest aircraft ever built spans about 385 feet, short of the 500 feet that was reported. So that's really strange. And the same pilot reported repeating sightings of, during October 2023, somewhere between midnight and 3 a.m., of strange lights that appeared that cannot be explained as satellites because they lasted for hours, whereas satellites often you see them for 5 to 7 minutes before they cross below the horizon.
Yeah, I'm hearing when you say strange, that means anything out of the ordinary for sure. And, your council has led a few months now of reviewing documents and footage. So do you think any of these newly released materials will cut through some of the skepticism out there?
Well, we need better data, but we have to take it seriously because the biggest mistake a scientist can make is not being curious. When the US government, which is not a scientific organization, comes forward and says, we are not doing our job. There are objects we cannot identify that appear in battlefields, that appear over strategic assets within the US. As an American citizen, it's my duty to help the Pentagon, the intelligence agencies, to figure these things out, because at the very least, it's a matter of national security. There is also a chance that we're seeing technologies that were not produced by humans, which will be the biggest discovery ever made in science. So one way or another, it's a win-win situation. I don't feel that my time is being wasted. But the key is, it's like a detective story, to get better data and to find an explanation. I should say that yesterday I worked with a postdoc of mine, Devesh Nandal. We explained one of the unresolved cases that the Pentagon was unable to resolve because we were able to monitor the motion of an object relative to the terrain in the background. We used it sort of like a chessboard that we can monitor the object moving across. And we figured out that this is most likely a hypersonic missile. So it's a mixed bag. Many of these objects are human-made, but maybe among them there is something really spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your expertise and for always staying on top of this and keeping us educated. Avi Loeb, thank you.
Thanks for having me.